Today is the 7th day of March 2023. And I'm sending this to Mr. Keith Bell, Minister of Immigration. I want to congratulate him for such a good job. But I want to let Mr. Bell know there's more than Haitians that need to be repatriated and sent of this country and to stop their visa. What happened yesterday is an example of immigration needs to look elsewhere to lawbreakers. And one of those people is Craig Roberts. Craig Roberts is no stranger to the police, no stranger to being one of the most hated men in Treasure Key. What he did yesterday is unbelievable, and what the police done yesterday was even more brazen and disrespectful to Bahamians and Bahamian women and children, that Craig Roberts could take a Jeep and run it into somebody's home, and then he would post big and brass that he's trying to get those squatters. He's trying to collect rent. What, Minister Bell, find out from your officers what kind of visa Craig Roberts have in this country. Does Craig Roberts have the rights to be collecting rent from people, and when they don't give him rent, he has the authority to run their vehicle into their front door, which is a glass sliding door that could be potentially deadly? In America, Mr. Keith Bell, Minister Wayne Monroe, that would be called a hate crime in America. Craig is a hateful white man, that he could rev up his vehicle and plowed into a building with occupants. And Craig doesn't have the rights to do that because Craig doesn't own that building. There's another Craig. That's why I tell him get that Craig right. There's another lawyer in Nassau that owns that building, and his name is Craig H. Roberts. Craig Roberts of Bahama Beach Club, that the government of the Bahamas gave Craig the first contract after the PLP got into power. Mind, before the PLP got into power, even Minutes already had a deal set up to do all the sewage distribution and fix up in Treasure Key. There was a big photo op of Craig and the vice prime minister in this hemisphere. But the police found, and this is what happened with me when I asked the police to do investigation, the police let the Haitian go. Now this become a immigration matter, Mr. Bell. And you need your immigration to find out what rights does Craig Roberts have to collect rent. Does his visitor's permit allows Craig Roberts to collect rent? Does Craig Roberts' visitor's visa allow him to be in charge of construction for over 2 decades? There has to be an immediate investigation, because the people that voted for Keith Bell, voted for Wayne Monroe, voted for the Commissioner of Police, voted for Deputy Commissioner of Police Delavo, also the man in charge in Grand Bahamas, Theophilus Cunningham. You ask yourself, what if, Commissioner of Police, what if that was your wife and your grandchildren inside that Reverend home that white visitor on visitor's permit can plow into a building with your grandchildren, Commissioner of Police, with your grandchildren, Wayne Monroe, with your grandchildren, Theophilus Cunningham. Delavo, you got any children? But what if it was your children, Delavo? You got any children? I don't know. You may have one. But this is impossible that the people that pay the taxes, a non-taxpayer, could plow into their dwelling home with a mother and kids. That can't go unchallenged. I'm calling for the top brass to investigate these police that minors get here. That is why Kai was in the Commissioner of Police office. We can't allow Craig Roberts to invite the police in Marsh Harbor at Bahama Beach to have a hamburger and a steak with a glass of wine and disrespect the rights of the women and the kids that were in that building. They, the police on the ground, thought there was enough evidence to drive Craig Roberts 25 miles, have him arrested, place him in custody. But somebody, whether they're in Nassau or whether they're in Abaco, doesn't respect the lives of black women and children. I want to let the Commissioner of Police know. I want to let Delaware know. I want to let the Minister of Immigration, Keith Bell, that should be investigating this. I want to let Wayne Monroe, the Minister of National Security, that black lives matter, especially black women life. In America, they will go not as far as releasing Craig on appointment for the police to get something to eat later. But Craig would be charged before the courts in America. They would be investigating hate crime that a foreign white man that has no permission to collect rent in this country, saying that he's going to, he posted it, that he's basically plowed his Jeep into the dwelling house of black women and children because he doesn't believe that black lives matter in the Bahamas. I'm angry, I'm pissed off, I'm tired of Craig. Do the investigation. I'm calling on Theophilus. I'm sending this to Theophilus. I'm sending it to Commissioner of Police. I'm sending it to Minister Bell, because it's a two-part story. This is a criminal offense, and this is a violation of the immigration law. Craig doesn't have a right and doesn't have a permit to collect rent from anybody, as far as I know, in this country. Y'all tell me different. Kai is just getting heated up on the story. This can die, because that could have been my mother and her kids. I don't know how the Commissioner of Police feel about his wife and kids. I don't know how Wayne Monroe feel about his kids, nor Theophilus Cunningham. But what if, God dang it, what if it was your children? What if it was your wife? What if it was your grandmother with kids inside a building with a glass door and a foreign man that has no rights to be at that building to collect rent under the Immigration Act, and he plowed into that building? He has to be rearrested, and he has to be charged. And we got to introduce hate crime on Craig Roberts, because Kai is on top of this story.